I wanted to talk about Nintendo here because we're almost to the point where we're going to get a new Nintendo console, and I consistently see this misinformation or just the uninformed nature of what Nintendo is, why they are, how they are out there. And I see people talking about things like it has to have a 4K 60 frames per second this, it has to have an OLED screen, it has to have the same amount of RAM as this system. And I feel like there's either misinformation and people just really don't understand who and what Nintendo is, or it's just we're in this age where it's more about likes and clicks and just saying things that just aren't true and inflammatory to get people to watch and like, versus just talk to people about the actual facts and the differences about companies and why you might be interested in this strategy that Nintendo put forth a while ago. So there's an article. It came out a while ago. I think it was around 2015. I'm going to link it in the description below, but I want to go through the article. I'm going to read it. It explains exactly why Nintendo does what they do. So when you see people saying, well, it's not going to have this, so it's a failure, it's not going to have that. When I see those things, I think that's exactly like saying, why doesn't Microsoft stop using Windows as their operating system? Well, they're not going to do that because that's not who they are. And this is exactly why Nintendo is never going to be cutting edge. It's never going to be RDNA 4 technology in their console. So let's go through this article. I'll read it, and hopefully you can get a sense of why Nintendo is different and why they do things that ensure that they're going to be around forever as a global brand. Cutting edge is a term usually associated with blockbuster product releases. Yet the philosophy of product development, central to the thinking of one of the greatest innovators in video game, eschewed creating new technology in favor of finding ways to give life to the tried and true. The man was Nintendo's Gunpei Yokoi, chief creative force behind many of the company's iconic inventions like the Game Boy and the D-pad. Yet despite a long list of accomplishments spanning software, hardware, and toys, Yokoi's most enduring contribution may have been his product philosophy, often translated to the almost Luddite-sounding lateral thinking with withered technology. The genius behind this concept is that for product development, you're better off picking a cheap technology, a la withered, and using it in a new way, lateral, rather than going for the predictable, cutting-edge next step. What is lateral thinking? Most product concepts are the result of iterative evolution. They tend to be slightly thinner, faster, or differently hued than their competition. You can see them coming a generation away. By contrast, lateral products are bold and surprising because they tackle their category orthogonally. Take the iPad Shuffle. While many analysts predicted that Apple would release a down-market music player, nobody imagined they'd eliminate the screen and shape the device like a pack of gum. Lateral products don't mind jettisoning industry-standard features and paradigms. Iterative products might be hardest in execution, but lateral products tend to be the hardest in conception. To build a lateral product, pick a starting point, the category or the technology. Since most of us work in a specific market, but are technology agnostic, we'll start with the category. Imagine you're working at a beverage company and are responsible for a new soda launch. Obvious ideas might be to develop a new flavor, upgrade an ingredient, or go with licensing. However, these ideas aren't lateral, as you're just replacing one product feature for another. Instead, you have to approach soda in a structurally different way. Here are two strategies you might employ. What's the fundamental product purpose, or soul diving? Focusing on the fundamental purpose of your product, its soul, empowers you to discard all of your accumulated assumptions, and this in turn will free you to make a new approach. During a rare interview, Gunpei Yokoi was asked for his opinion on games of the time. His response demonstrates soul diving at its finest. Quote, "There's a huge variety of console games out now, but to me, the majority of them aren't actually games. The word game means something competitive, where you can win or you can lose. When I look at recent games, I see that quality has been declining, and what I'm seeing more and more of are games that want to give you the experience of a short story or movie." With our beverage venture, we might ask, what's the real purpose of soda? One idea might be that purpose of soda is on-the-go hydration. So a lateral move would be to drop the carbonation and additives, thus leaving us with bottled water. In addition to soul diving, there's also cross-pollinating ideas. Take your product category and then shuffle in a random idea. If creative sparks don't fly, drop it and repeat the process until you stumble upon a combination that's crazy enough to work. Entrepreneur James Altucher is an enthusiastic advocate of this approach. Quote, "When I started Stockpicker, it was the mating of my ideas on the internet with my ideas for a new hedge fund. The best ideas always come from mating. Think of Hollywood. When they pitch an idea, it's never just, I have this idea. It's always, it's James Bond meets Titanic." Avoiding the cutting edge. More often than not, startups and R&D labs take a new generation of technology and rush to apply this to their chosen product category. The challenge of this approach is that it's hard to get the cutting edge to work well out of the gate. There are too many risky unknowns, which lead to compromises, bloated budgets, and even wholesale cancellations. Competition is also tougher, with everyone bumping into each other, trying to come up with a better mousetrap. So while it's a notable endeavor for you to develop a new soda sweetener with a modest 20% fewer calories, there are, as the military calls them, known unknown pitfalls. A supply shortage may skyrocket your target price point midway through development, or an unseemly side effect may surface among a portion of your population. Even if everything goes smoothly, you may still wake up to a "bring back the original formula" petition, which garners national press attention. So what does withered technology mean? It means abundant, well understood, and cheap. Gunpei Yokoi believed that the rewards for using cutting-edge technology weren't always proportional to the effort. That's why he tried to limit himself to withered technologies. And it's important to note that his use of the word withered didn't refer to old or obsolete technologies. This was a poor translation of the original, which was much closer in spirit to weathered. Weathered technologies are abundant, well understood, and cheap. Examples could include AA batteries, aluminum cans, or the Python programming language. So for a soda executive, high fructose corn syrup is withered, while premium organic agave syrup is not. Limiting yourself to withered building blocks can be the difference between niche novelty and a mainstream blockbuster. The cost saving allows you to price for everyone. The resource saving allows you to focus on innovating around the edges of your product. The time saving allows you to launch early and often, and with the supply abundance, you can go global. Withered constraints will push you creatively, yet allow you to scale to success. Most people tend to assume that new products are the result of looking at tomorrow's technologies and working backwards from there. Gunpei Yokoi had a different idea. He looked at present-day technologies and figured out how to package them into exciting products for the future. What's great about this approach is that it isn't just good business, it's also good fun. The process is more creative, the headaches less painful, and the end result is more likely to delight, draw attention, and win in the marketplace. So, summing this all up, what does all of this mean? Essentially, take the PlayStation 4 technology. When the PlayStation 4 launched, everything that was in the PlayStation 4 was expensive. But now, those components, even with inflation, even with the high cost of everything, they're going to be much, much less than what Sony and Microsoft use in, say, the PlayStation 6 or the next Xbox. And developers are used to using the technology in the PlayStation 4. They've become familiar with it. It's weathered. They can push it to the max, and you can get great results and creative and fun ideas. And more importantly, your cost to create a console will be much less. You can be profitable day one, and with your creators, you can make stellar games that delight everyone. That's the philosophy that Nintendo follows. It's why you're never going to see a Nintendo console on par with a PlayStation 6 or a PlayStation 5. And it's why when people tell you Nintendo needs to do what Microsoft and Sony are doing, they clearly do not understand what makes Nintendo, Nintendo. Thanks for watching this video. Think about liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.